Right, so Marvel's Avengers has a new combat trailer for Winter Soldier. I don't know what this is necessarily. From what I understand, this is the closest thing we're going to get to a war table for Winter Soldier, for Bucky, and I think that's a very bad thing. Splitting the war table into two separate shorter videos that came out on different days, that came out like a day between each other. Bad idea, bad move. Because I would prefer to just sit and watch a full war table, or have the war table be a live stream. That would be better. This, like, 3 minutes and 4 minutes 30 just screams there isn't much here. There isn't much here to actually show you. And there's not much to talk about. Maybe there is an actual war table coming soon that will go into more detail with this, but that's not what this is. This is different. I think if this is just the war table, or what used to be a war table but condensed to 4 minutes 30, I'm severely disappointed, because I don't like it when stuff for new characters doesn't come with a lot of information, because that makes me think that there's just not a lot of depth to that character, and there's already a lot of questions as to how much original moves and how much of Bucky's moveset is going to be new and going to be completely from the ground up, because we've just had a character that was a complete echo and people aren't happy about it. So we're going to see what Winter Soldier's like in this, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good, because I don't want another Echo Man. I really don't. I've talked about this for so long. A game can get away with Echo characters or a game can get away with characters sharing abilities and movesets when a roster is like plus 30, I think. Plus 30 or plus 15, I think, is when you can allow characters to start feeling similar. But even then, just copy and pasting a moveset, I think, is suspect even at that point. We don't even have... This is like, what, our 10th character? Our 9th or 10th character. 9th on Xbox and PC side, and 10th on the PlayStation side. So my question to that then is... Or is it the 11th? Might be the 11th. Because... yeah, we're closing in on the 15th, but we're not there yet, and we're not nearly at a point where we can start... we're not nearly at a point where we can start putting... where it would be justified to put in Echo characters. And I think the justification that the community is bringing is that Echo characters means that we get characters quicker, and that's just not the case. We're waiting the same amount of time we waited from Kate to Clint, and those two aren't echoes of each other. They don't share a moveset. The closest thing they share is the bows may be the same model, and the arrows look the same. As for moveset wise, they both do completely different things and work in completely different ways for your team. Thor and Jane have the same moveset outside of their ultimate, and that's what I mean by an Echo character. Kate and Clint aren't. They're just both archers, but they are different animations, different skills, different everything. Hawkeye was a new character from the ground up. Jane wasn't, and I hope that Winter Soldier is that. I hope that he just has similarities when it comes to movement to Cap and to Nat. I certainly don't want ults to be the same. I don't want heroics to be the same. I don't want the regular attacks to really be the same. And for people defending sharing assets, it shouldn't be something that's being done this early. Sharing assets should be done when the roster is bigger, or when you're putting in multiple characters at the same time, or when characters are coming out within a month of each other, not within a couple of not within, quarters of each other, not within like 3 months of each other, or half a year of each other. But anyways, Winter Soldier, let's see what this is all about. More blood, violence, Marvel, just in case you thought this was DC. Crystal Dynamics.
Marvel's ultimate anti-hero, the Winter Soldier, is coming to Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, it is.
And we're here to give
you
the
like
lowdown
war
on how
table
to make the most of his abilities. The Winter Soldier was once Bucky Barnes.
There you go,
Captain
the ugly
America's
artwork again.
Sidekick.
I'm sorry to the people who worked on that, but it doesn't look good.
Cap frozen in ice. Bucky was resurrected by the shadowy Soviet covert agency, Department X. The Soviets gave Bucky a
Department
powerful
X?
bionic arm and trained him to be an expert in hand-to-hand combat and
That's Wolverine,
marksmanship,
mate.
unleashing his deadly combination of power and precision on the world as
That's
the
gonna
Winter
get
Soldier.
annoying.
Freed from the sway of his captors, the Winter Soldier now relies on his former training to fight for justice. A powerhouse damage dealer, he excels in both close-up and personal brawling.
Okay, they
and
fixed
medium-range
it, so he's actually
and his
using the metal arm to do
customizable
the
combat kit sets him
ground
apart
pound.
from other heroes, making him a versatile and fresh addition to the Marvel's Avengers roster. Let's break down what makes Bucky distinct from the rest of the Avengers by diving
Okay, the
into
skins
his
look
unique
good.
suite of combat abilities.
I don't mind the face. He looks
Bucky
a bit
can
too
modify
similar
his
to
base
Clint.
abilities by turning on his intrinsic ability, Steel
Why
Forge
is-
Tenacity. This is charged by
Why-
parrying damage, leading to a customizable defensive boost. Red Star Rising, Bucky's intrinsic overcharge, triggers an area of affected damage explosion good for clearing small mobs.
I mean,
Time-based
that's
bonus
thematic.
increased moderate
That
armor
works
and increased
for
melee
me.
damage. Winter Soldier has a series of awesome intrinsic attacks.
I don't like him
including a
flailing
light
his
sprint
arm
called
around like that.
Blade, which deals damage with his knife, and his heavy
Okay, that's
sprint, explosive
cool,
entrance,
actually.
a powerful slam that sends enemies flying. Bucky's
Okay, I
natural
like
fighter
that.
light
I
combo
like
is
that.
a flurry of punches along with a kick and knife combo finisher. With the
I don't like how
signature
flaily
attack,
it looks.
slam
Oh,
into the
that's
ground, creating a shockwave that staggers nearby enemies.
that's
Send
similar.
enemies flying with the heavy combo finisher, a metal arm bionic ground pound. Bucky's heavy power attack, Buckshot, can be upgraded to a combination ranged attack that gives you access
Okay.
to various modes of his rifle.
Okay, he's got
including
a
fully automatic fire,
Hawkeye style move.
high-powered piercing
He's got a
rounds,
Hawkeye
and
style move.
his grenade
That's
launcher.
great.
Winter Soldier's
Ooh.
ranged attack, Suppressive Fire, blasts 3 high damage rounds. When charged up, he fires
I
a
like
single
the-
high-powered round that can pierce armor or even multiple enemies at once. The Winter Soldier can cover ground quickly with his grappling hook and wall run abilities. Bucky calls his support heroic Soldier Tech Nonsense, a remnant of the tech Department X gave him. He doesn't know or care what its real name is or how it works, just that the personal stealth field it generates gives him an advantage in a fight. Airstrike is Bucky's assault heroic, which allows him to call in an airstrike to set a target that drops multiple
So that's
bombs
very
in
similar to
succession on the
Clint's.
battlefield. And when
I
the
mean, it's
battle
different
is
enough,
coming your
and
way,
it's
time to
thematic.
hit the berserk button and unleash the Winter Soldier's room-clearing ultimate heroic protocol.
No, that's the same
Perform a bionic
animation.
slam that stops enemies in their tracks and marks enemies for assassination within a 40-meter range around Bucky. This allows Bucky and his allies to instantly take down enemies without having to stun them. In addition, his melee
That's
damage
literally
increases and he
Cap's
is granted
ult.
a new knife light combo attack. The Winter Soldier has arrived and he brings his powerful and devastating skill set to Marvel's Avengers. Whether
If
you want to
anything
pick
should be
apart
different,
enemies
it's
from a
the ult.
distance or jump into the fray and engage in close quarters combat, the Winter Soldier is a master assassin with a customizable combat kit that makes him a versatile and nearly unstoppable addition to the Avengers roster. Your orders are to join us and experience this exciting story of vengeance and redemption when Winter Soldier makes his Marvel's Avengers debut in patch 2.7, available on November 29.
Okay. I have thoughts. His regular combo kit, especially his heavy kit, thumbs up. Good job. Good job, team. You did a good job with his neutral play. That's the term. Outside of the heroics, his assault heroic, good job. More stuff like that, please. The old heroic being a copy and paste of Cap's, giving him a knife combo. I mean, I need to see what it's like in action, but from there it just sounds like Cap's. Oh. And the animation is the same. He does like the double, the jump and the kick. And no, this is the stuff I wanted you to not do. Crystal Dynamics, why? Crystal Dynamics, why? Why must you be adamant in giving me an aneurysm? Oh my god. The support being invisibility makes sense for Winter Soldier. Smoke grenade might have made more sense, or like a defense buff would have made more sense because of the metal arm, or like a taunt. What I would say now is we're moving into a meta. We were moving into a meta with Spidey and Black Panther, where their supports were damage over time things. Like maybe it would have been better for Winter Soldier if he had a support where he was setting up mines, and the mines healed allies and exploded when enemies walk over them. I feel like that would have been more thematic, and it would have been different to the other characters, because just invisibility, maybe like an invisibility dome, where you're inside the dome, you're invisible and you're healing. So kind of like a mix between Black Widows and Hawkeyes. I like a lot of what I've seen here. It's just the ult. I have problems with ultimate abilities being copied and pasted. So that's the one thing that they changed with Jane, is the ultimate. Right, and I have a problem with the ultimate being the same from Cap to Bucky, right? Because those are meant to be unique abilities. Those are meant to be the most unique abilities to each character. So what I'm saying is, with the next, if there is a character coming after this, because we know for a fact that buffs are coming, that traversal buffs are coming in the new year. Traversal buffs are coming sometime in the new year. So I can take with some confidence, I can say that we're probably going to see another character after this. And I hope that that is a big character. I hope that's a big name in the universe and power scale wise, because we need to see. I don't care if you wanted to do She-Hulk. If you only have one character left, make it be Captain Marvel and go out with an absolute bang. Do your Kree Invasion expansion and make it feel big. If it's going to be the conclusion of your game, the end of everything, then have it feel like you give a damn. Because if this is seriously the last thing, as you know, as fun as Winter Soldier looks, because he genuinely looks fun from that. I've been bagging on CD for a while. I've been bagging on Avengers for a while, but Winter Soldier genuinely looks good. I genuinely think he looks good, because I would rather him have an operation so that we have like a fun boss fight to test our Winter Soldiers on, or to use our low level Winter Soldiers on, and I want to see new villains, like actually new villains, not MODOK again or Monica again. And I feel like if we go away from operations and expansions, we go away from new adversaries and new villains. Because like the best thing that we got out of War for Wakanda was boss fight against Crossbones, boss fight against Claw, and the boss fight against both of them together at the end. And the reason why that's okay, and having multiple boss fights against the same villain in an expansion or in a thingamajig, whatever, a operation, is that it is within the same time frame, and it's surrounded by new content, right? So that you have it in a lot of games where you have multiple boss fights against the same character. But here, the reason why it's so tedious is because we're only getting Monica, and Monica again, and Monica again, and Monica in a mech, then Monica, but she's flying. But and now we're getting MODOK again. I like the look of Winter Soldier. There's some things that niggle me, but overall he looks fine. It's just the core, where this game is going, or where this game has decided to go with content, angers and annoys me and frustrates me, and I don't understand it. Overall, I will continue to play Avengers until they sound the death knell, and I'll continue to say stuff that I like, because I genuinely think Winter Soldier looks fun, looks good, and he's got enough new stuff for me to give a thumbs up. The Ultimate is the only thing that I kind of have a problem with, and even then, I have to see what it's like in action. I have to see if the knife combo, what they're calling a knife combo, if that feels different enough to what. Obviously it will, because it gives Cap more range with his shield. I don't think Bucky will be throwing a knife around. I don't think that's going to be what he's going to be doing. I think instead he's going to be like more up close, but more damaging, and probably if it's a knife, surely that should have a bleed status effect on it. I know most of the enemies are robots. Most of the enemies are like mechanical, but the enemies that aren't, it should do a bleed status effect on them. I don't understand this game wanting to shy away from the 16 rating. Maybe a 16 rating is different in the US, you pussies, but sorry, I didn't mean to call an entire nation pussies. But yeah, maybe it is different in the US, maybe it's different in Australia. But yeah, usually a 16, it can get away with a bit more, so I would have liked to see at least a bleed status effect. You don't need to show enemies actually bleeding, but I think if you're going to have more characters coming in that have like bladed weapons, or eventually maybe a Wolverine, I think a bleed status effect would make sense for them. It would be weird to put a bleed status effect on like Hulk or on like Thor, because it's a dull weapon, but maybe that can be something that is character specific. So maybe give like Hawkeye a bleed, give Kate Bishop a bleed, give Black Panther a bleed, give Bucky a bleed whenever he uses his knife. Yeah, bleed status effect, do it. Hopefully Winter Soldier's good. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking of Winter Soldier. If you think that this looks good, if you're annoyed by reused assets, if you have the same opinion as me with reused assets, let me know. I hope it's good. Please, Winter Soldier, be good. I really want you to be good. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace.